Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast presented by Omaha Steaks. Head over to omahasteaks.com right now. Use code DAWGS, D-A-W-G-S. Get yourself $30 off your next order. Josh and Justin with you today. I know Blake and John came yesterday with their takes on the Odell Beckham to Baltimore signing, but now Josh and Justin would like to get their input as well. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Real quick, make sure you guys follow us on our socials and join the YouTube Dog Pack if you could, because that's really where we want to grow a lot of our support right now. It's just 99 cents. You get access to your badge next to your name when you leave comments and interact with us in the live chats, and you can use the cool Browns emojis. And as we get new supporters and the community grows, we unlock the opportunity to create new emojis. So we could eventually have tons of these emojis that we can use in our chats, in our Browns comment section. So that's a lot of fun. Make sure you guys are looking into that as well. All right, Justin.
Yes.
Odell Beckham to the Ravens, 1 year, $18 million contract with $15 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, man?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about this?
So, I mean, good for Odell.
Okay, true.
He's coming off of, we kind of talked about it. This is his third kind of bad injury to that leg, back-to-back, bad knee injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, I didn't think that this was the market. You know what I mean? I didn't think that dollar-wise this was anything close to that. I thought 10 was kind of, you're taking a risk. You're dealing with a guy that's coming off of, back-to-back bad leg injuries. Hasn't really produced at a top level in almost 3 years now, and that's because of injuries too. But I think the last 3 years is 300 yards-ish, give or take. So good for Odell. A lot of people are kind of slamming the Ravens for this and saying it's a desperate move. They needed a wide receiver number one. They needed a guy, and they went out and they spent the money. It's strange that they're willing to spend the money on Odell and not on their quarterback, the guy that's throwing the ball to the receiver. But for me, I think that Odell is coming out of this in a great situation. A chance to prove that he can stay healthy. You're getting, $15 million guaranteed. The contract's only for $1 million this year, but $14 million guaranteed, and then it's incentives up to $18 million. And I've told people, I think that there's a chance that he can hit on those incentives. He is the guy. If you think that Bateman and Devin Duvernay and Nelson Aguilar are going to steal touches away from this guy, like they're going to be the alpha, no, absolutely not. He is the guy. If he stays healthy, he's got a chance. The production has to go somebody. They can't just run the ball all day. And if they really want to have this air raid offense where they're throwing the ball all over the field, well, hey, this is a guy that he can get open and he can make some things happen. It's just, can he stay on the field?
Yes, and I've seen a lot of comments now, obviously on social media and stuff. We've been talking about this situation, and I've seen a couple people say things like, he had the one great catch. He hasn't really done much throughout his career. He's not that great. You guys got to remember, Odell Beckham, from 2014, 1,300 yards, 1,400 yards, almost 1,400 yards again. Then he was injured in 17, only 300 yards, but then back to 1,000. And then, like you said, the last two seasons that he played, in 2020, he only put up 319 yards in 7 games with Cleveland. Yep. 21 between Cleveland and the Rams, just 530.
Okay.
So he hasn't had 1,000 yards collectively in the last 2 seasons he's played. He missed the entire 2022 season with that ACL.
And I'll say this too. When he left Cleveland and he got with the Rams, he was a stud.
Yep.
He absolutely exploded. Probably would have ended up being the Super Bowl MVP, I think, if he doesn't get hurt and destroying that knee again, which was tough to watch. But to me, everything falls in place for him. And you're right. When you say that he had numbers and stuff like that, at one point, Odell was the guy. The catch and stuff like that, all he had was the catch. I don't know where people are saying that that's the only thing that he's ever done. He was the guy with Eli Manning. People crap on Eli Manning. Then he went to Cleveland and he had Baker, who I don't know. I still to this day don't know what the hell was going on there where they could be on the same page. And then obviously like with the Rams, that second half when he was released from Cleveland and went and got with Stafford, he balled out. Now he wasn't the number one. He was, basically a second option. And people can make the argument, he was getting open. He was basically Juju to Antonio Brown. I don't care. You still perform. He has the potential to be a number one. And he has the skill set to be a number one. It's just, can he be healthy enough to be a number one?
So he tore the ACL the first time, October 25th, 2020, came back, was able to work his way back through that injury, which was, I thought, impressive because I was even later on in the career. He was just 2020. That would have made him, like 28-ish, something like that. You see these young
now.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be 31 in November.
Okay.
So season, during the season, he will turn 31, which, I mean, we've seen elite wide receivers drop off after age 31. 32 is usually about the latest. I mean, think about like Julio Jones, AJ Green, some of these guys. That's why like DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think he's getting as much interest in trading right now because he's 30 or 31. So
up there, yep.
So to be turning 31 and recovering from not your first, but your second major ACL tear injury, I just don't know how productive he can be on the field. We know that if he is healthy, yeah, he can be productive if he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball. But will he be on the field? Will he play the whole season for them? I mean, my money would go into the not bucket.
And I think that's safe. You know what I mean? If you were a betting man and you had to say, hey, can Odell play the entire season at a high productive level without injury? It's safe to say, probably not.
2019 was the last time.
Right.
16 with the Browns. Yep.
We talked about it. Like, I think you made a point there is, somebody that can get him the ball. We don't even know who's going to get him the ball. I know Ravens fans right now are on the horse and they're saying, hey, this is all the proof we need. They're FaceTiming. And to me, like everything that you've heard today, it seems like this was a calculated move between Lamar and OBJ to get on the same team and to play together. And you see that they want to win a Super Bowl. But I don't know, man. Going into like after the trade, I thought, wow, hey, I could see Baltimore maybe trying to trade Lamar and flip some picks to like, let's say a San Francisco and go get Trey Lance.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? And then you got a guy and not only can damage you with the run game, if he's healthy, another guy that can't really stay on the field, but that dude has a cannon. He can throw the ball all over the place. Now, people make the argument can't stay on the field. Can he pick up the game speed? We just haven't seen enough of Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance could be crazy successful in the NFL if he can put it all together, if he can stay on the field and process everything. I mean, skill set wise, the dude has everything. He's dynamic with the legs, and he's not dynamic like Lamar. There's only one Lamar as far as doing that. But this dude can heave it around. But then, today I'm reading things and, you're seeing that maybe there were some things going on behind the scenes and maybe these two are trying to link up. But if you're Lamar, you're basically going against everything that you stood for up to this point. You said, I want guaranteed money, or no, I want out of Baltimore. And then, they trade, I guess, for a weapon for you. And then now where are we? Because I don't think anybody really knows. We can all sit here and say, oh, Lamar might be coming back or Lamar still wants. I don't think anybody really knows. Maybe only Odell knows. They seem like they're kind of talking. But into yesterday, I was like, they're going to flip this dude, Lamar, get picks, and then they're going to go get a quarterback, and they can air the ball out a little bit. And now, man, up until an hour ago, you're seeing stuff that these two have been working together to try to get on the same team. And it's like, what's really going on? Is this still the play? Because it doesn't seem like a good, script if you're Lamar, where you just say, I'm not playing. And then, hey, yeah, I'll come play for that $32.5 million or $34 million or whatever a year.
Yeah. I feel like for OBJ, this is not a move that says, I still think I can produce at a high level and I want to go out and show everybody. Because if you want to show everybody what you can produce as a wide receiver, you don't go play for the Ravens.
Oh, you go link up with Patrick Mahomes or
exactly. There's plenty of teams. Yeah. That'll throw the ball more. I mean, if you look at the Ravens going back from 2022, 3,200 yards passing, 42, 29, 33, 37. That was back to Lamar's rookie year. So, and even before that, 37, 32. These guys don't throw the ball. There's not a lot of passing years to go around. Even if Odell plays 100% of the snaps all 17 games of the season, he won't hit 1,000 yards.
So it's crazy too. I just saw a stat maybe about like 2 hours ago. Since Baltimore's been in Baltimore, like as the Ravens, and they left Cleveland, they've never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver. And we're talking about what, 20, I'm saying math off the top of my head, 25 years, something like that. That is crazy to me because I think of some of the names that I think Anquan Bold, like,
yeah, that's my first thought
for them. Yeah. They said that today, that never have had a Pro Bowl receiver. And I was just like, wow, that's wild. Because felt like there were some years even before Lamar where they had some guys. And even I know Hollywood wasn't super like explosive, like as far as like number one, like steal the show. But he was nice. He made some nice plays and limited opportunities. So I don't know. It's just kind of wild. To me, this was a move for Odell where you got selfish and you wanted to get some money, and I don't blame him. You know, he was going to meet with the Jets. From everything that I read, the Jets were ready to do a physical. This is what we have the expectations for what we want from you. We're bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Let's get the deal done. Let's get ready to move forward. And Baltimore just came out of nowhere and was like, hey, here's $15 million. Let's talk. You know what I mean? And he's never even walked on the field for Baltimore. So it's crazy that they're willing to offer that kind of money up. And then, you know, you have a guy that has been, I mean, say what you want about Lamar. He's been kind of the heartbeat of that team for the last 3 years. So it's crazy to me, like, that you're not willing to, you know, spend some money on your franchise quarterback or what, you know, everything they say is their franchise quarterback.
Right.
It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people saying too, like, well, you know, we dog Lamar. He's not put up a lot of numbers, or what, he's not as effective as a passer. And people say, well, they didn't put any weapons around him or whatever. And this is their chance to do that. Well, you know, if you look back at their history, they spent first round picks on Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman. They spent a first round pick on Hayden Hurst, a second round pick on J.K. Dobbins, a third round pick on Devin Duvernay, and even a fourth round pick on Isaiah Likely. So they've invested draft capital into weapons for the offense. Now, those weapons didn't pan out, whether it be, you know, because that player just wasn't as effective as they were hoping, or because maybe they just didn't have the quarterback to help them develop and grow. I don't know, but either way, it hasn't worked out. But they have tried. They have certainly tried to give him weapons, and it has not worked. This episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest homemade burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real, aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun: filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout and get an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout. You get $20 off the Burger Perfection flight, plus free shipping. Discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
I've read a lot too that people are trying to compare it to the situation with last year where, you know, you have a Jalen Hurts who is, you know, maybe a struggling start. You know, he struggled a little bit. He wasn't awful, but he, you know, you weren't like, hey, this guy could be the MVP next year if he stays healthy. And you go get an A.J. Brown and then pair that up with Devontae Smith and things just absolutely take off. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying adding Odell to this offense makes it that situation, but I'll tell you what, it helps. Because you have Mark Andrews still.
Sure.
And you have Odell. I don't know what they have at Bateman. I like Bateman coming out of the draft, coming.
Yeah, we all did. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it hasn't really been. Now he hasn't been able to stay healthy either. So it is what it is. But I mean, offensively on paper, there's some things there. But also, who is your quarterback? If you're rolling Huntley out there this year, I mean, I just don't see Huntley is very okay. He's a backup quarterback.
Right. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Everybody, that was a joke. He actually isn't.
People, Ravens fans, they talk that. But, to me, I think that you have to get Lamar or you have to get a quarterback in the building. Because if you go into this year and you go, hey, we're going to let Lamar sit, we're not going to make a move at quarterback. We're going to let the backup, we're going to let Huntley just go out there and carry us. We've seen that. The second half of the last few seasons, we've seen Huntley's okay. He's all right. But, if you want to go and make the playoffs and win the division and all that good stuff, you have to get either Lamar in the building on board or you have to do something. You have to make a move. I just don't know what that move is. If you talked about a little bit, I don't know if we were on air yet, but you said maybe this is a way for Lamar to screw the Ravens. I mean,
screw the Ravens and help out OBJ to get that deal,
Right. What if the Ravens trade Lamar? The draft is coming up and we always say like everything's figured out heading into the draft. And then I swear that Thursday night is just chaos.
It's insane. Every year, things are going to happen.
Complete chaos. And you see guys getting moved that you never would think would even get touched. And all of a sudden they're heading to new teams and these picks are getting sent over here. So it's interesting. To me, if I'm reading the tea leaves, just everything that I've read today, I think that at some point, Lamar probably ends up back in the building. And Odell, I don't think Odell signs there going, this dude isn't going to play, especially just with the interaction that I'm seeing. And maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong and read it wrong before, but just it seems that way that maybe he's willing to come and just link up with that dude for a year. If they can both stay healthy, maybe they go to a different team next year, but collectively. But I think they both need good seasons and good healthy seasons. They both need to prove that they can stay on the field for more than 5 or 6 games or, a half a season if you're Lamar. Just my opinion.
No, and I think that's very fair. I mean, my opinion, I'm coming at it with definitely from a more skeptical viewpoint, just based on, one, my dislike for the Ravens. So it's a little biased. I got to admit that. But, just looking, like I said, at the numbers, the stats, Odell did not come here, like I said before, to show that he can have a high production season. Because even like I said, even if he plays every game, it's not going to be a great number season for him. To me, I feel like this is a final stop for Odell before he retires, because next year he's going to be turning 32. I mean, these receivers do not play much past that. Definitely not at a high level. And with 2 ACL tears, I see this as the final chance for him to get a big contract, and I think Lamar helped him do that. That's just my opinion. That is based on no sources. I'm not getting that information from anything. It's just when I look at the situation, that's my gut feeling is, this is one guy helping another guy before, the first guy says, I'm out of here anyway, so I'll see what I can do to help you get your money. I don't know.
And everything that led up to last night and today was to me, I'm like, there's no way Lamar plays this year for the Ravens. Mm-hmm. Like, as a business, they at some point have to make a decision before the draft and go, we got to get this guy out of the building. He doesn't want to play for us. He's requested a trade. He's rejected offers. And we can sit here and say whether the offers are fair or not, it's whatever. He thought his value wasn't being met. And maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I don't know. If Odell I think Odell can have a productive season.
Okay.
And it just depends on what happens, especially if they do this offense where they're just chucking the ball all over the place. The ball has to go to somebody. I think Mark Andrews could be big. I think Odell can be big. I think and both of them, if they can both stay healthy, absolutely, this can work. But you have to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
You got to have a quarterback. And whether it's Lamar or whoever, they got to figure it out. I mean, we're 2 weeks from the draft, 3 weeks from the draft.
2.
Is it 2? So either you're going to go and get a young guy, or you're going to trade for somebody, or you're sticking with your guy and you got to figure out the contract, which I don't think they're going to be able to figure the contract out.
No.
So, and and only Lamar knows what he's going to do. Like he can be saying, oh, hey, if you saw, like you were talking about the Instagram post and FaceTime, he looks excited. He's got a weapon, but
does he?
does that excitement translate to, hey, I'm going to let bygones be bygones and get in the building, get it with my coordinator, figure out what we're going to do this year. I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of people forget just how big these players' egos are. And not only are their egos big, so are the egos of the people in the front office and the coaching staff. Right. So whenever both sides are digging in their heels like this, somebody is going to bend at one point. Like something is going to happen. But I don't see Lamar stepping back and saying, okay, I'll take a lesser deal because blah, blah, blah. Like, he's dug in.
Everything you read is, Lamar loves the coaching staff and he's never said a bad word about the GM. But at some point you got to feel like, hey, if you don't appreciate what I've done or what you think I can do, because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If they don't want to pay him this guaranteed contract, they don't think that he can either stay healthy or they don't think that he can get him there.
Right. Because
that's it. It isn't any more cut and dry than that. There's somebody there, whether it's DaCosta, whoever, that doesn't want to pull the trigger, whether they're scared or they don't think it's a good financial decision, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's just crazy to me to think that after everything that's happened, it's just a wash now. Like we're just 16 hours away, removed from, I want nothing to do with Baltimore. All of a sudden it's, Lamar really loves the city, blah, blah, blah. It didn't look like that. He was ready to move on. He was ready to be the guy for a new city. If he was ready. So I just don't know, man.
Yep, I don't know. But like you said, we are I guess it's 2 weeks from Thursday this week. So a little over 2 weeks from the draft. And, we're going to be doing night 2. So we will recap all that crazy stuff that Justin just said is going to happen in the first round, because it is going to happen in the first round.
For sure is going to happen.
We'll be recapping it Friday night at 7 o'clock on the 28th. So make sure you guys tune into our live stream on YouTube. And we're going to go through the second round, as much of the third round as we can. I mean, the Browns, I don't anticipate having to wait till, 74? I don't think we have to wait that long.
I think we're going to package some things together.
I think they'll be moving up. There's going to, Barry's got guys on the board that, and then somebody's going to drop a little, just in that range where he says, I'll go get him. So
yeah, I'll go make that move.
Yeah. So we'll be there to cover all that. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about this whole OBJ, Lamar, Baltimore debacle?
I'm excited for Odell. We'll see what happens. Oh, you froze up really bad. Okay. I was going to say, you just froze up and I was like, oh man, he is gone. But no,
I'm here.
For Odell. This is your chance, Lamar. You just got a number one. And whether people agree that he's a number one or not, he's a number one on that team. He's the alpha on that team. So here's your chance, man. You got your guy.
Okay. I do disagree. I agree with you that he's the number one on that team. I do not think he's a number one type of receiver in the league anymore. Yeah. But hey, this season this will show you who's right and who's wrong.
Correct. Yep.
So, all right. Well, we appreciate everybody checking out this episode. Just glad we were able to get our thoughts to you. Hope if you guys did not check out Blake and John's episode from the other day, go check that out too. It's always fun to hear what Blake has to say. So,
absolutely.
So until we talk to you guys again, let's go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.